Welcome to the 2020 Great Alaska Aviation Gathering Virtual Trade Show Edition. My name is Doug Evink and I'm the owner of Tanis Aircraft. I'd have much rather been making this presentation to you in person, but due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we are going to give you the Reader's Digest condensed version of why, what, and how to preheat. Tanis Aircraft has two facilities. Our manufacturing site is in Glenwood, Minnesota, and our headquarters that houses our engineering, sales, accounting, R&D, and some other manufacturing is in Blaine, Minnesota, which is a northern suburb of the Twin Cities adjacent to the Anoka County Airport. Why to preheat? These are our goals when we develop a preheat system, and we want to make sure that you can start your engine at any temperature and you will have the proper oil pressure and oil flow to reduce any type of engine wear that might be caused due to that temperature arrangement. And last but not least, engine manufacturers do mandate preheating at a specific temperature. What to preheat? We've done many tests and we've determined you should use a multi-point complete engine preheat system, which is for us a threaded element that goes inside of each cylinder, replacing a rocker cover bolt or an intake tube fastener, and a silicone pad element that goes in the bottom of the sump, or one on top of the case for the 6-cylinder systems. Our 4-cylinder just needs one on the sump and the cylinder threaded elements. For our rotor wing customers, all the critical driveline components should be heated, and we develop systems for the main rotor gearbox, tail rotor gearbox, fuel control units, mod motors of those helicopters. The batteries should also be heated. Many of those are after the firewall, so they do not get heated in whatever method you're using to heat the engine. And with all the glass cockpits that are now inside of the aircraft, we've developed a system for the avionics and cabin heat to prepare those for cold winter operation. I'm going to show you some data logs that we've done and why it's so important to have a multi-point preheat system that gets everything above the oil line in your engine warmer than the oil. And the reason we do that is there will be moisture evaporating out of your oil. It evaporates quicker when you heat it up, and that will condense on any component that is lower than the dew point temperature inside of your crankcase. And the dew point temperature inside of your crankcase is going to be very close to your oil temperature. That's why you see we've developed a system. This test we did on a 172, the 4 cylinders in the top of the engine are 10 to 15 degrees warmer than the oil. We get the system in about an hour and a half to 2 hours, 50 to 60 degrees above ambient. And if you do need additional preheating temperature above that, let's say you're starting at minus 20, minus 25, then the added use of an insulated engine cover will give you another 50 to 60 degrees above ambient. But of course it takes a longer period of time, so you're going to need to do it overnight or at least 6 to 8 hours prior to your flight. Many people come to us and say, I have a sump-only preheat system. It warms up the oil just fine, which it does. It will warm up the oil, but as I stated earlier, moisture will evaporate out of that oil. The cylinders in the top of that engine case are much colder, probably below the dew point temperature where moisture could condense on them. One thing, if you do have a sump-only preheat system, we recommend use it just an hour, hour and a half before flight and make sure you fly. That way any condensation that does happen inside the engine can be pushed out through your exhaust. Here's an example of a customer of ours that said, well, we use a sump-only and an insulated engine cover, so everything should be the same temperature. And we did a test for them, and you will see the oil still got 20 to 30 degrees, sometimes 40 degrees warmer than the top of that engine. And you know that the moisture then could deposit and condense on those components. We replaced that system with our preheat system, and again, you'll see the rise above the oil and the following of the ambient. We design our systems so that they have the correct wattage, that you leave them plugged in all the time. Do not put them on a thermostat. We have no type of control system, because once we put that amount of wattage in there, we just ride the ambient temperature curve. Internal versus external preheating. We use a 50-watt element that goes inside the cylinder and our silicone pad elements. Another manufacturer uses a hose clamp thin element around the base of the cylinder. We did a test for that to show you that our cylinders with 50 watts of heat are twice as warm, heat up 2 to 3 times quicker than any type of heat around the base of that cylinder. Our 4-cylinder system only draws 240 watts, our 6-cylinder system 460 watts. So the use of a 1,000-watt generator will be able to give you an adequate preheating when you are off the grid or no electrical power is available. Check out our ad in the upcoming Skyways digital magazine, and we have some specials for the Alaska Airmen Show. Also, we're giving away some swag. If you want to pick up a sweatshirt or some Bluetooth speakers, just give us your email address. But most importantly, we want to hear from you. We'd like to hear any of the questions, comments you have, or your use of a system. If we've done some tests on that, we'd be happy to share that with you. Here's our contact information. And most importantly, we hope to see you sometime yet this year at some aviation gathering, or for sure next year at the 2021 Alaska Airmen Show. Thank you for your time.